What's up, everybody? This is Troy here, and welcome back to another cast of RotWK Patch 2.02 version 8.0. And today we have a 1v1 on Forts of Isen. Almost a 2v2. That's madness. But of course, yes, we have our first player, Veliamar, as Goblins in the top left, and the opponent is Martinez, who also goes by, of course, for Gondor in the bottom right. So we got Isen versus Goblins. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, version 8, of course, has been released. This will be the second replay cast as of that happening. So that's pretty good, I guess. There's not a whole lot of replays uploaded yet to pick from. But, you know, we do our best. Hopefully I'll see more, and we can do more casts. But hopefully this will be a good game. We have, of course, Veliamar and Martinez, who are they're not super pro. I'd say they're pretty decent mediums, though. So hopefully they'll have us a riveting game for us. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. I have no idea what to expect. But I just picked a replay because there was only a few. And I'm not casting a 4v4. So I'll try and talk about some version 8 changes as I see them. I don't know all of them because I haven't read the changelog yet, which I'm getting around to. Maybe I'll do that before the next set of casts, hopefully. Can't promise anything because I'm lazy. But we'll see. Both players, of course, have gone for swordsmen, rather. We have, of course, the RotWK, which are going to be a lot stronger than the Goblin Warriors. And I'm just going to say right now, I have the RotWK HD edition on, which is not currently available to the public still, and is not part of version 8. These shields on the Goblin Warriors and stuff, not in the different icons, not part of version 8. That is part of that. It's just something I have special to me only, currently. So, I'm not going to answer any of that question, as long as I've said it in the video. Great. So we got the war chant there. This is how you want to deal with some Uruks. Debuff them with the Creebine and just swarm them down, poison them, and try to kill them with as many little poison blades as possible from your Goblin Warriors. Because Uruks are very tanky. You're definitely going to need that debuff there. Because war chant will keep them going, as you can see, for quite some time. So it's a good way for Goblins to try and deal with that. It obviously doesn't work as well when they have a mass amount of things and you can't get surround them as much. Martinez here, creeping the Warglare, and very nice. So that should be useful. Alright, Veliamar sending his Goblin Warriors to the south. And getting a spider pit. I almost call it a spider hole expansion. That's a entirely different thing. That's of course that thing. Fort defensive upgrade. It's got a lot of goblins though. You should be able to defend from 2 battalions of Uruks. Not too much trouble, I would think. Looks like he went to play with the cave troll. Probably not the best of ideas, if I do say so myself. Martinez expanding up towards the right side there. And using Goblin Warriors to creep wargs is pretty effective. Obviously not always, but I mean they're very cheap throwaway units, so if you have to use 2, it's still not a big deal. They're only 100 resources, of course, for a Goblin Warrior, which isn't too bad in the grand scheme of things. Venom Sacs is already purchased, as you can see there. I think that's a version 8 thing. It comes pre-purchased, just available here, but once you, like say, build a spiderling, you will still have to equip it onto your things for whatever it costs. But it will say as soon as you build the spider pit, the Venom Sacs has been researched or whatever. A few factions things do that. The Direwolf Kennel with the collars do that as well. It's not really any different. It just kind of gives you a... You don't have to purchase it first to put it on your guys, I guess. Which is kind of cool. It makes it a bit more useful, because nobody really wants to pay for Venom Sacs, and they have to pay to put it on the Spiderlings. Alright, we got some first battalions of Spider Riders out, very nice. I'm not sure if we'll get to see it, but major change for version 8 comes in the form of a Shelob. So, I mean, I could speak about it now, or I could wait. I'll wait. Fire Drake bug has been, of course, fixed for version 8. There used to be a bug where if anyone would click the Collector's Edition button, the Fire Drake would disappear. It would just randomly die. So it would make the Fire Drake unusable. Now you can use Fire Drakes, in theory, to the... It's just the best of your abilities, as much as you like. Well, you only get one, but at a time, of course, unless you have multiple ports, which is madness. We got some couple of battalions of War Guards out here for Martinez, very nice. Veliamar's going to have trouble with that, I feel like. Especially with that in form of pikemen, or enough guys to make it just really hard to get through. She currently doesn't have. These guys are tanking out this Spider Rider charges pretty nicely. And I feel like the War Guards are going to make a big difference. It's going to help him with his harassment, it's going to help him defend, it's going to help him do all kinds of things. I really value Cav against Goblins. I feel at least. It's pretty good. As long as you don't suicide charge them into a clump of like 12 guys, you should be pretty good. But Veliamar doing the right thing. Probably going to get some half-troll Marauders, I'd imagine, to help deal with that, and some Spiderlings, which also help deal with Cav. He says stronger swords and cavalry, which is nice. It might have said that in version 7, I can't remember, but it probably did. A lot of the tooltips have been updated, or changed, or whatever, to, of course, fit whatever has been changed. So Venom Sacs is still 100. But you have to, of course, upgrade it yourself. Your damn self. Doesn't look like he got much use out of the Spiderling. Looks like the pikemen have decided to hold here. Although the Goblin hordes barrel down upon them. But these will definitely help deal with this. These don't counter the War Riders directly, but they're great at chasing them down. They do decent damage, as you see there. Because they can keep up with them, which is pretty nice. So if the Cap's trying to get away, well, in theory they can keep up with them. They even run away and hold ground stance. I think he's trying to target this one, though. He should be really retargeting the back. And go for the one you can reach. Looks like they're having an awkward time trying to get around. Alright, so we got the pikes, swords, a couple of battalions of crossbows. No wildmen. Of course, another big version 8 change for Isengard is the clan setting. It no longer looks like the tavern from Mordor that used to be in BFME2. It now has a model specifically made for them. And I think it looks pretty good. It was a, you know, it was a debatable topic of whether it was good or not, but I think overall it fits pretty nicely. It does lose its arrow tower on the top, but the Warg Rider, or this thing, now has an arrow tower that works. So, nope. There's no technically loss of arrow towers on buildings for Isengard. But it looks cool. I think it looks nice. And it's a nice addition, I think. I'm a pretty big fan of it. It does look a little high res on low. So a lot of players play on low, you'll notice it sticking out a little bit. I don't think it's too big a deal though. Oh, Genius has gone for a Sharku and alerts. Very cheeky. Sharku has potential to do really well, especially with Warg Riders. I think Veliamar is actually doing pretty well here, though. He's countered majority of this cav pretty nicely with Lings and Goblin Warrior clumps here. Got some Wildman Axars. That somebody got a Wildman summon, I'm guessing. We have Devastation and War Chant, of course. 4 power points. 278 of 925 for Martinez. And Veliamar has Wildman, Cave Bats, War Chant, 2 power points, 450-ish of 650. So Martinez is doing a little bit better on the old command point front. So his eco's a bit better. A lot better, in fact. He's got more farms up and running. And Shaku leading his boys. Very nice. Ooh, there's the poison arrows, of course. And they get Spider Riders. I like Spider Riders because they can go bow, and they're like Rohirrim, but they're fun Rohirrim. I don't know. The Archer mode isn't super great, but I mean, they are a cat unit. I can't expect too much for a tall global cat unit. Rohirrims aren't super great archers either. But they're decent, you know, they'll fit. They'll do the job. See, this is actually shredding these other cav. But trying to take them something like a Drogoth or a Felbeast with them can be a bit... They're no Mirkwoods, just put it that way. They'll do in a pinch. Got some Goblin Archers. Got Goblin Warriors. That particle effect, of course. That glow is the Horde bonus. Which is, of course, from that. When you get 100 or more goblins, each model is one, not a battalion. Together you get a buff. Which it does say when you mouse over the Goblin Warrior in the thing. I was trying to do that and then I clicked off of it. 25% damage when gathered a number of 100 or more. And it stacks its buffs, leaderships, and other spells, so it's always good to have as many Goblin units in the spot as you can, really. I'd say Veliamar's doing a good job of taking control of this game. I thought it was looking a bit worrisome. I thought Martinez was going to be getting a bit powerful. You know, once Isengard gets going, they do pretty well. I mean, he is still doing okay, but I'd say Veliamar's doing a lot better. Keeping map control, keeping his opponent in check, more so. But of course, Martinez isn't doing too bad either. He's got 3 heroes now, which is pretty good. He's got for a Grima Worm Tongue, which could be interesting. He's good for the debuff, if nothing else. He's not a super good fighter, of course. He can't backstab if there's ever an enemy hero. And of course, steal a hero if there's any hero to steal. But the main hero you're going to want to really do the work is Lurks there. Who's now level 2, he's got his Carnage ability. Nothing changed to that. Sharky, of course, is just always a beast. He's got a great trample. He's got a bit of splash damage. And he's just really pretty good. And of course he has leadership for wargs. So if you're going wargs, not a bad choice. This is an interesting choice for Veliamar, I must admit. I mean, they're great. Fire Drake Brood Hordes are... They're really cool, they're really good. They just die very easily. That's the problem I have with this unit. It does high damage. It's a very glass cannon unit, I feel like. More so than a Deathbringer is. But they can kill a lot of guys at once, so I guess they have to be for balance reasons. But it's just interesting he went for this, of all things. Not saying it's a bad choice, just saying it's an unusual choice. I'd like to see if it pays off or not. Martinez is sitting on almost 2,000. And we got 800 for Veliamar. I really want to see a Drogoth or a Shelob, but I don't think either of those are going to happen. It's not unfeasible. Wormtongue probably should not stay in that engagement. He's not very strong, as you see. It takes Wormtongue a long time to kill a thing. He did level up, though, and then managed to use his Escape button, which is pretty good. Alright, we got Darkness for Veliamar, the Goblin player. Some devastation, clearing out some trees there. I generally wouldn't use them in your own base, but I guess why not, right? If he's not going to build lumber mills there, why not, I suppose. But now Goblins benefiting from darkness, not going to be good for the enemy team, of course. Because darkness is 33% armor and damage, and it stacks with bust leaderships and other spells, so that's it's pretty big. You can get a pretty strong DPS army going. Do a lot of damage. I think things are swinging in the Goblins' favor pretty heavily now. I'm just going to talk about the Shelob change, because I don't think we're going to see one. Shelob has a new ability she starts with. So she's still 3,000, but she feels more like a 3,000 hero now. She has one new ability, which generally is not something 2.02 does, adding abilities or whatever. I think the only... There's a few things, like the frying pan for Sam that was added back in. There's things that have been added, of course, but she starts with a ability where she can spit web onto an enemy and slow the unit down. And then she starts with it. It's pretty cool. It looks nice. It has perfect animations. EA made the animations for it. Like, it was meant to be a thing, surely. But it fits really nicely. But it's just it's a nice effect for her to have something new, something to make her a little bit better. She also moves her locomotor, which means her things that make Shelob move around. The way she moves is less janky. She moves much more smoothly. And she's just generally much more nice to control. By the way, Fire Drake Brood's amazing for countering cavalry. As you see there, they do pretty good. Oh, we got Saruman. Very cool. So it's good. We do have, of course, Freezing Ring on canceling the darkness, and of course giving a minus 25% damage and 20% armor to the enemy. Which, of course, is pretty big, especially when Goblins drop like flies anyway. And I feel like since Martinez is the hero squad, Saruman has potential to do some great wizard blasts with these kind of clumps. So Martinez should keep an eye out for that, but he has to be a bit careful there as well, because Saruman could get caught out and swarmed down by goblins. As long as he uses them strategically, I think he'll be fine though. Archers take down these Drake Broods so nicely though. Look at that. They die so easily for the price they are. There's 1,500 and you need a level 3 fissure for them. And they just die to archers so fast. That's why I don't generally like the Drake Brood. I think it's hard to use and keep alive. Especially since evil teams don't have wells or anything. Your only option is to level it up and hopefully it heals over time. Here comes Azog joining the fray. Hopefully Worm Tongue not leveled up. He needs 2 more levels to be able to backstab, which is pretty good damage. Lurtz, of course, can cripple and just kill a hero anyway, so... But things have seemed to, I'd say, switch into Martinez's favor here now. I'd say map control is definitely still in Veliamar's favor. He's building towers in the north even, securing his position. He's got lumber mills and stuff. Nobody's creeped the trolls yet. On either side, looks like no one cares. But I'd definitely say, army strength-wise, I would put it in Martinez's favor, just because... I mean, he's got a Saruman, for God's sake. But also Lurtz. Lurtz is just huge. Like, he's going to shut down Azog super easily. Although it looks like he was actually losing to Azog there, even without Azog's great battle rage. Maybe he was wounded already. Either way, he's dead as fuck. See, the cripple cooldown still pretty... It goes down pretty quick still. But I think it is longer than it was. Which is good. Because it's a very strong ability. Ooh. Nice fireball. Level 2 ability from Saruman, of course. Saruman is just a shit ton of fun to use. There's a reason I always go for a Saruman when I get Isengard. It's just so much fun to use. And of course... He's Christopher Lee voice files, so I mean, who doesn't love that shit? It just makes it very hard for the enemy to do anything in clumps. In this game, people clump. Let's be real. It's hard not to sometimes, especially if you're a attack mover or something. You have to be very micro-intensive if you're not going to clump. So it's very hard to avoid getting Wizard Blasted to hell. Martinez is holding, though. He's got his wargs. Warg army and Sharku doing pretty well. And the crossbows are just picking off all the little stragglers here. Lurch might die to these Spider Riders, though. Looks like he's actually switched and going for the charge. That'll take care of those. Now there's no pikes here. Not a bad call. Ooh, and there's the fireball. Very nice. It looks like they've given up hope of attacking Martinez's base, though. I mean, it's pretty hard. There's not much camping out in front of his base, but it is enough that he can't do anything about it. There's only one thing that can save him now, and that's starts with a D and ends with an Oth. I think he's actually thinking the same thing. Like, Drogoth would be big. In a literal and metaphorical sense, of course. Once all these are gone, that is. Drogoth would be pretty useful. And I think at this point he needs it. Either he needs a lot of Spider Riders, or he needs Drogoth. Or both! Those Wargars are doing work, though. Damn. Somehow these crossbows are still here. For all that. They remain. Well, the heroes are getting low on health. Well, Saruman isn't, but Lurtz is. You might be able to pick off Lurtz if he's lucky. Ooh, big fireball there. Fuck. Yeah, he really needs to go for some harass. I think at this point, though, he's already got all he wants. Like, Martinez doesn't need anymore. He's got the fun shit. I think that might be his undoing, though. I don't think Veliamar's going to be able to go for a Drogoth, realistically. He's having to spend money pretty rapidly to try and defend. And there is a dragon now summoned in front of his base. Oh dear. That's going to kill all of his production building. Look at the dragon's AoE cone of fire. Holy shit. Yikes. Well, that's probably going to spell disaster for Veliamar, I think. Because, what can you do? I wonder how good these little lings are against this dragon. Is it the towers or the lings that are doing damage there? What is this spaz dragon doing? He doesn't know what he wants. Let him go. Can he hit that? Nobody can hit that. Ah, it's going to cause him some half trolls. Feels bad, man. Instantly losing a battalion of half trolls as soon as they come out. Yikes. Yeah, I say Martinez has this in the bag now. He just needs to seal the deal. These towers didn't exactly pay off. You even got around them. For God's sakes. Alright, dragon is gone, but he has left a desolation behind. Looks like we got a watcher, though. That's always fun. That'll buy him a little time. Keep his heroes flying around. Have a little snack for himself. I love when the watcher eats a unit. That's a fun thing. We'll see if Veliamar can get back on his feet here. I'm not so sure he can. He has bought armor though for his boys. This farm is very close to dead. Here comes the ballistas. I think he knows he has to take this ballista out. Ballistas have been nerfed. They're not as strong as they were in version 7. So that's probably a godsend. Isengard in general has been a bit balanced out more. They were the strongest faction of version 7, without a doubt, pretty much. I don't know if that's the case now. I can't say it's not, because I don't know enough yet. But they're still strong. The ballistas have been balanced a bit. So they're not just gonna ruin everything. Like I said, I'll try and go over the changelog next time. Maybe I can go in a little more depth, perhaps. Perhaps not. Probably not. Don't keep your hopes up. I'd suggest going over the changelog yourself if you want to see what's new in version 8. I can probably leave a link to the changelog as well, which would be useful for everyone who wants to know what's new, what's changed. I want to see how much they actually do, though. That did nothing to those, but those are half trolls with darkness and, of course, scavenger armor. And I'm not surprised they didn't take much damage, because they are quite tanky, especially with the darkness. Okay, here we go. Veliamar's starting to push back a little bit. He's got some half trolls in there. Spiderling summon. If he can start taking out some of the infrastructure here, he might be able to pull this game back. And I would love to see that. Because for a while it hasn't looked too good. Lurch now has pillage, which of course gives nearby allies and stuff kills for resources. As if Isengard needs any more eco. Isengard is very much an eco faction. Economy, of course, if you don't know what eco means. They have lots of powers that are going to give you money. They got, of course, Lurch that'll give you money. They have things on their fort that decrease the cost of things. They're just generally very economical. But they're also very strong army-wise, of course, and hero-wise, so they're generally pretty good. Wormtongue is level 7 now. One more level and he can steal heroes, which isn't going to be super useful, of course, because Veliamar isn't building any. Which is wise, I'd say. I think when you have this leveled up Wormtongue and alerts, your probably best bet is not to use that. I think he's doing the right thing here. He needs to get this Lurch off the field. And then he can just swarm Saruman down. I think the half-trolls, upgraded half-trolls are very good. If you're a late-game Goblin and you're not building upgraded half-troll Marauders and Swordsmen, you're doing something wrong. Because they're extremely strong. I mean, they'll be able to tank a Wizard Blast if he wasn't an aggressive and had armor and buffs pretty nicely. There's a new effect from version 8. You see the smoke trails on the arrows. Now the fire arrows, I believe for all factions now have that. Which is a very cool FX. I think Andy did that. I'm just going to assume he did. I know he did. He did a lot of new effects for 2.2 Men of the West. I'm assuming a lot of that has been also done for like Isengard and stuff. So props to Andy. Andy's effects are very cool. And I think they're very nice. Level 7 Saruman. Oh, he can do a Thunderbolt. Or he can just retreat, of course. I mean, currently, Martinez's base is just being grabbed. Look at all these fucking wall hubs. You can decommission these for money. You might, I don't know if you, or just use them. Just not gonna use them, especially against goblins. Although he is being raided by half trolls, which can't climb walls, so I guess that would be fine. But most players don't build walls anyway. I mean, he is getting a fair amount of stuff killed. Oh, there's Dragon Strike. Dragon Strike did receive a buff. It does some damage. I don't know how super good it is, but it's better than it was. I think it's faster now to get to where it needs to go, perhaps. There's some things about it. I didn't read the changelog on it. It is a little better though. Or a lot better, not sure. You be the judge. God, this Saruman is just fucking doing work. He needs to kill Saruman. This is like suicide charging machine guns on D-Day or something. Like, Saruman's this machine gun here. It feels like. I think Martinez is going to overextend eventually, though, and he will lose his heroes. But I think he'll just be able to buy them back. Although, he is losing a lot of his base at this point. I think he's just going ham, trying to level his heroes. I mean, if you look command points and farm-wise, Veliamar has definitely taken the lead there. Heroes, of course, I don't remember if I said it in this. I'm doing 2 casts right after each other. I don't remember if I've discussed this already. In this video, the last one, aggressive stance no longer gives a speed bonus. So he's doing the right thing by not retreating in aggressive stance. Not that it would matter if the enemy's that far behind, but it's not going to give him a speed boost. You can still get a speed boost with Palantir, though. That is still a thing. Oh, we almost have it. Balrog, I'd assume. That'll be a game ender, I think, especially with the state that Martinez's base is in. I think Martinez might have thrown this game by just playing with his heroes too much, perhaps. Which, you know, it happens. Having to micro them so much, keep them alive, has really let Veliamar just take control of everything else. If you're going for a fun factor, he has done well. I cannot deny. Okay, we got a little unemployed laborer scum. Maybe that should be the thumbnail of this video. It'd be kind of funny. Non-spoilerific as fuck. Ah, yes. Oh. Wow, most of those boys got up from that. Must not have been the direct hit. We have a Drogot the Dragon Lord. No Shelob, though. Disappoint. Drogot's fun, though. Drogot's Incinerate now has a different... You'll notice, not Dragon Strike, Balrog. Did he go for Dragon? He did. You have to go for Dragon instead of Balrog. Probably because Watch released of Dragon. I never remember which fucking power tree looks like what. But you'll notice there's a different icon when you try to cast Incinerate or Balrog's Dragon Breath. Fire Breath, rather. Breathe Fire, that's... It has like a little flame ability, but it doesn't have like the big circle around it anymore. So it's a bit easier to cast. Both of them have that now. And it just makes it a lot easier to cast the stupid powers than it originally was. Which is pretty nice. Well, this is definitely GG. Goblins got this game in the bag. Hopefully Martinez had fun with his hero squad while they were alive. They were so young. But the fall of Isengard is nigh. There it is. Cool. Well, there you go. The second cast of version 8 on my channel, at least, of course. Not bad. Like I said, they weren't super pro game players or whatever. They're not bad. They're better than me. But I think, like I said, Martinez kind of threw the game by just letting his enemy build up, playing too much with his heroes, playing too much with your food. Not a good idea. And I think that he just gave up on the rest of the map and lost in the game. Shit. Well done to Veliamar, at least, for holding out through that and then pushing it back for the win. That was pretty nice. Cool. Alright, so there you go. If you want to download, of course, Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 8, there's a link in the description. There's a link in the description, of course, to download the game itself. BFME2 and Rise of the Witch King for free. And, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the cast, and I'll see you guys for the next cast of Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 8. See you all next time.